Hey, what's going on? I am Captain Zap. Welcome to the show. Let's play Enshrouded. Today we're gonna build an inn, a tavern, and an inn, or a bed and breakfast. I don't know, but I gotta give these idiots a place to sleep. So I think we're gonna do a bit of a tavern up the road here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I got going on. I've been messing around a little bit with like these, what are these things? Like, coffin tops or whatever as stairs. I think that works pretty well. I think we're going to put the tavern over here. And I think it's going to be really big. I think we're going to have a basement. I think we're going to have a bit of a patio out here. Maybe that spans like the entrance, maybe around and down this side here. I think that could be cool. And I think there's going to be a second floor where all the rooms are, maybe. And they might pop up a little bit. Maybe they'll pop up back here where the ground kind of raises a little bit. Maybe I'll raise the ground a little bit more to cover them. But there will be a couple little rooms up here for the idiots to live in, the freeloaders. But let's just, we gotta start somewhere. I've been racking my brain about, what floor am I gonna use and what, all this jazz. But let's go ahead and just pop in a door. And I think I'm gonna move the door a little bit. Maybe to here, maybe even back some. Just so it's back from the road. Leave a little bit of room for like a patio area. I think that might work right there. We'll pick this up. And I think that unfortunately means I have to pull this tree out. So let's go ahead and get rid of this tree. I'm pretty sure we can plant trees through the farmer, so I'm not super worried about that. I'm also gonna put bushes and stuff up. I still got a lot to do, man. Lots and lots to do. So we kind of got the rough entry area kind of settled. Let's go ahead and start marking out the inside of the building. I like to use these big blocks here. These big foundation blocks, just kind of carve away. So you just place it down and then remove it, and it kind of removes all this earth. So I think I've talked about that before, but we're going to want to just kind of carve away a lot of this nonsense. And anything that we want to put back, we can put back later. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of this. I can harvest this berry bush here. Maybe come up here and get rid of this bush. So we got kind of an entryway going, and I think it's going to drop down a little bit. So it'll be a step, maybe 1 or 2 steps down into the main area for the tavern. Maybe 1, 2. Let's see that. Yeah, this is not bad. So maybe we'll kind of just push this around a little bit and get this all flattened out. Kind of like this. Just a little something like this. Whatever, dude. And then I'm thinking for the entryway, maybe it's going to be brick. We have this new brick timbered block, and I think I like it. So I think maybe the pathway leading up will be this brick. If you look at it, it looks really nice. I think maybe that's a bit too big though. Maybe we'll go for the smaller one like this. And we can kind of put that down like that, maybe. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe, you know what? I've also been messing around. Let me show you something. The front of the house here. With like these stepping stones. This is just a gravestone that's upside down and plunged into the earth. Maybe I'll do something like this. Like a dirt path with some gravestones. Some stepping stones? Walking stones? Whatever. Maybe we'll do that. Leading up to the entrance to the building here. That might be kind of cool. And then we'll do bricks here for the floor. And we'll decide, hang on a second, let me go grab some stuff. Okay, so I just grabbed some dirt road blocks here, some dirt road stuff. Let's go ahead and just kind of do something like that. And maybe even it's kind of like uneven like this. Maybe something like that. And then we'll remove these. And then we'll go to our terrain. And we'll use our dirt road blocks. And we'll just plop this in here for now. Oh, why is it so not good? It's too high. I'll have to fix this with the hoe later. I'll have to flatten this out a little bit with the hoe, but you can kind of get an idea of what's going on here. Maybe we'll delete some of this. Some of these grass blocks. Maybe like that. How's that gonna look? Why is the grass coming back? Okay, so you just got a little walkway like this. I went ahead and cleared that. And then let's go ahead and go to our backpack. And I forget which one of these I used here. These gravestones. I think it was this oblong one. And we're just gonna flip this over until it's 180 degrees. And then you can kind of shift it kind of down, maybe like that. Okay, hold on. Okay, hang on. Maybe like that. And then maybe this one's kind of like that. That might be kind of cool, leading all the way up to this door. So we'll do something like that. And then I think that's pretty good. Now I want to go ahead and grab... Let's try granite for right underneath the doorway. How's that look? That's not bad. And then we'll do a step. And where is it? Maybe we got to put that there first and then delete it. Get rid of some of this earth. Come on, baby, let's go. Go away from me. Yeah, and then we'll do a step down. That's actually quite nice. And then maybe we'll do another one? I think that's too many. I think we'll go straight into brick from here. The timbered brick. I'll just put that right there. But maybe we'll kind of put it underneath the granite. Just to hide these posts. I don't really like those posts. So we'll hide those a little bit. And then maybe we'll expand. There's going to be like a big kind of like entryway mud room that will just open straight up into the rest of the tavern, which I think will be some sort of timber, maybe something like this. Although the shroud wood is pretty nice too. They're both kind of dull, actually. They're not as vibrant as I would like for like a Hobbit or tavern kind of area. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do probably the light one. I think we'll do the light one, which is or refined wood block. And then I think we're gonna do fancy stone block, kind of like what we did with our house. Let's see the contrast there. Meh. See, the contrast between the two woods is like super stark. What if we put it right on? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I'll have to figure that out. The walls I'll have to figure out. So let's just work on the layout for now. While I'm screwing around. Get rid of all this. So I'm just going to keep digging this out. And figuring out kind of the layout. I'll be right back. I have hogged out the majority of the space in this here mountain that I think we're going to be using. And I have kind of left a couple little spots here and there to kind of poke out. Maybe we'll put some windows, get some nice natural light in there. I think we'll do like a patio down here in this area. That could be kind of cool. And I've kind of been setting up just freehand what I want this to look like. I'm just kind of going with the flow, putting some stuff down, taking it away, and all that jazz. We'll have kind of like a nice little area here for tables and chairs and stuff. Maybe a bar here. Maybe a kitchen in the back. That could be kind of cool. Maybe that leads downstairs into like a storage area for kegs and whatnot. And then maybe like an upstairs where there are more rooms. I got some rooms here, just kind of like randomly placed. Yeah, and maybe some shared bathrooms for the inn portion. I don't know how many people there are. I have no idea. They seem to just keep coming and coming. So I think we'll make quite a few rooms. I've even decided to go down a level here. Let's see if we can put one of these down. There you go. I've decided to come down and maybe we'll do some more rooms down here. Just to kind of get things, you know, to a point where there's enough space that we can put all these idiots. And then over here is going to be like this little, like a lounge area. Maybe there'll be a little deck out here too. Who knows? I don't know. That could be kind of fun. Yeah, so anyway, this is how it's going. This is how it's going. Something like this. I think we'll do an overall height of the ceiling. I think we'll keep it relatively high. I don't really know. I don't think I like that. Maybe we'll keep it at this height. Like that. Although that's too high. You know? So, I don't know. I'll work that out. This might be good, actually. Maybe I'll just stick to this. Yeah. We'll stick to that. As far as, like, walls go, I left 3 spaces. I think that's 3. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Is that 4 spaces? Yeah. So I left 4 spaces, I guess. I don't know why. And then I left 3 spaces between the rooms. This way we can do like some little inset sconces and stuff. I thought that would be a fun idea. We can just start putting these down, I think. Or maybe I should wait till I have the ceiling. We'll put the ceilings first and then we'll do the walls. But this way you can do these little inset sconces that I like to do. And we can... There's enough room for us to do them on each side. There should be. Yeah. So then we can just put another wall here. Whatever. And then we could do another 3. What am I doing? What even am I doing? Yeah, we could do something like that. And then you just put the sconce right there in the middle. Yeah, I like it. Very nice. We'll do that. We'll keep it. Yeah, I like this height for the ceiling. So I think we'll go with that. I'll put all the ceilings down. Another thing I like to do, and you guys have probably already seen this. I think I did this in my last build video, but I don't go all the way down. Like I don't match up here because it covers up this trim. I like this trim. And I don't go down flat so it's sticking like that, you know? I like to keep it right on the corner so that the corners are touching, but nothing else is touching. Like that when I do the walls. This way, the wall paneling, the wainscoting, whatever you want to call it, like meets up with the trim around the perimeter of the floor, rather than these little feet here. I don't like these feet. I don't think it looks good. So that's what we're going to be doing for all the walls. I think I'll do that. I think I'll keep hogging out the earth for the storeroom by the kitchen. And I'm going to keep going up the stairs. Let's see here. We're using refined wood blocks for this. Come on, baby. Be nice to me, man. So we'll keep doing this. Yeah, that's not bad. I want to come up enough that, well, let's go around the top. I want to come up high enough that, one, it's not an insane amount of stairs, but two, I want there to be like a long hallway here, I think. Yeah, like a long hallway and then rooms that go back into the mountain. So I want a hallway of like natural lights maybe sticking up the top here. That could be pretty cool. I like that. So maybe I'll cut some of this ground down a little bit so that we can get more light. I'll plant some more grass. I might even cut away some of this here on the top and make this nice and flat. And I'm going to replace a lot of this rock too, just so it looks a little bit more like natural. So that could be kind of cool. Let's give that a shot. Yeah, but that's, you know, that's how we're doing it. We just kind of freehand it, free mode. Just go straight free mode up in this piece. And it usually works out. I don't know. What do you think? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to put down some of the walls. And, matter of fact, we can do that a little bit together here. So I can show you. That's the wrong one. So you put down... It's nice to know where the ceiling is first before you do any of the walls, because I want to try to save some of this material, but I guess it really doesn't matter. So we'll do... This looks right. And this, the height of the ceiling might have to change for these hallways too. I'm not sure. So we'll do something like that. Let me go really quick. I'm gonna go grab some doorways. Okay, so we got a couple doorways here. Let's keep building out this hallway. Yeah, see, these are too high. Let's give it a shot, though. We do something like that. We'll do all of this. I'm considering going to get the other rounded doorways, dude, because I hate these. I do not like these doorways anymore. I heard that there are some different rounded doors, and I think you can only build them with iron. So I think we have to go get iron, man. But so we'll put a little... Nope, that's not correct. I hate that. Go away. We'll go down to -4. Let's see what this looks like. Well, that's not in the right spot, dude. What are you doing? I think it's got to be there. Yeah, all right. And we'll just do some of these over the top here. Like that. That's not bad. What do you guys think? I think that's not so bad. And then we'll do, we'll just fill this in a little bit. Sometimes I can't see where the top is. But that's okay. There. The hallways are big. Let me go see really quick, because I like the way I did the hallways down here. I've already forgotten how I did them. They're smaller. They're one smaller on each side. I'm gonna have to redo this whole thing, and that's okay. That's all part of it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come in. I'll have to come in by one. Let's go ahead and just do that now. And I'll probably have to do it to all of them. So we'll delete one of these all the way down. All right, and now we can place our walls here. Something like that. I think that's better. What do you think? You think that's like a smaller hallway versus a bigger one? I mean, it's still pretty big though. I think this is fine. And maybe even on this side, because this is going to be like a lounge, maybe I'll close this up and I could do like a wall of built-in bookshelves or something. That could be kind of cool. Yeah, so I'll have to figure all that out. That's not a big deal. But I do think I don't like the way that these look right now, and I know that there are other ones. I like the way that they look in other buildings, right? But I think for this tavern, it needs to be a little bit more handsome. All right, I went and got iron and a bunch of other stuff. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I kind of left this for a little bit. I've been doing a little bit here and there, but I kind of like left it, and I've just been like playing the game a little bit. But let's go ahead and take a look. We got iron. I built these doors. I finished doing all of the walls and the roofs and stuff. I think the inside is pretty much done for the most part. I've decided to do this little brick entryway with granite around the sides. I think it looks pretty nice. I don't know if I'm going to do a patio. I think it's getting to be too big. And it doesn't really match the vibe of the rest of the village already. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I might still do a patio. Let's go ahead and go take a look. I also raised this front part up, and I think yeah, so because I lowered the door, I lowered the door a little bit. So now there's a step down first before you get to the door, and then you have this little landing inside of the door. This way, the door was too high with the stairs, and I don't know how people were gonna reach the door handle and all that stuff. So anyway, all the walls are done, all the windows are in, and all of the places for the sconces are also done. So I think that's good. We got these new archway, these archways here. I think they are very handsome. They look nice. I'm working on a bar idea. And I think it looks good. I'll show you how I did that in a minute. I'll deconstruct this and we'll do it again. I was just kind of like ironing out a couple ideas. And then maybe some bar stools too. I thought that would be pretty fun. And then here we're gonna put some like casks built into the wall. I also thought that would be a cool idea. Let's go ahead and just do that. Oh, actually, let's continue. Let's do a full walkthrough, and then I'll show you all the little doodads and nonsense that I'm working on. So here's the bar. This is going to be the kitchen, and I think I'm going to place a lot of this stuff. I might build like a big fireplace where these kettles will go. And then I'll inset these into the wall, these ovens into the wall. I think that'll look pretty cool. Putting the casks in the wall, we're going to have to bump this whole wall out, I think, to cover up the back of these casks. And then you get this little hallway down here that goes into the storage room. And I think we're going to keep a bunch of like dried goods and maybe some more casks and stuff. Well, that's all for decorating though. So, I mean, this is pretty much it. It's pretty done. You'll see it at the end when it's fully decorated, probably. Let's go back out to the main area. I got rid of... There was a hallway here. And I don't really remember what was over here. It's been a while since I've been back in here, so... But I've converted both of these into bathrooms. So you got 2 bathrooms here. I think that's going to be cool. Just, you know, with a toilet and a sink maybe. And then you get a hallway that goes into the lounge area. I have been messing around with putting some fireplaces down just to see what they look like. This one will probably stay here. I think it looks pretty good. And I'll probably put bookcases everywhere. I've knocked out the ceiling a little bit just to give it a little bit more space. Maybe we'll hang a couple chandeliers in here. But yeah. This is gonna be the lounge area. Maybe a couple seats, maybe some tables and chairs. So, you know, all that fun stuff. Then you have an entry over to this side of the inn. This is where all the rooms are gonna be. Let's go ahead and take a look at these rooms first. You got a pretty big room. This will be like the big suite for whomever. I don't know. No idea. There will be a fireplace in here though. And then you got some smaller rooms. And I've just started putting some stuff down just to make sure everything fits. It looks like it's going to be good. They will all probably be copy-pasted. So you'll have, you know, a bed, some nightstands, maybe like a small reading nook. And that's it. Pretty bare bones. And then you got 3 of those on this side. And given all the space, how gigantic this is, I managed to get very few rooms in, and I think it's because I made it so spacious. That was my biggest mistake, I think, so far. And then this side was going to be like a shared communal bathroom for everybody that's living down here. But it's too big. I don't really know what to do with it. I think I'm just going to knock off this all of this space here. I'm just going to get rid of this and close it in. I can't build any further than this wall. This is the limit of my flame altar, so I think we'll just get rid of that. It's not big enough to turn into a room or anything, and whatever. I'll just make this all a shared bathroom in here, maybe. So I'll run a wall down here, and we'll forget about that back space. It's not important. Don't pay attention. So then you got upstairs. These are like the fancier suites. You got all this natural light in here. This is all pretty nice. Each one of these suites here is fairly large, and they have more natural light inside because of a roof I put on the top. I thought that was pretty fun. And then they'll all have their own bathroom. Pretty spacious bathroom. Maybe a reading nook. I don't know. These are all the same. This last one came out pretty nice, though. It's got... because it shares... this wall is exposed on the outside, so I thought it'd be cool to put, like, some windows here and maybe some roof accent pieces just to make it seem a little bit more... just to give it some more character, you know? And then he's got a bath... or this person has a bathroom, too. So, pretty cool. I think maybe these top 3 will be... like important people. Like maybe I'll put the barber over here. And maybe the bard. I don't know. We'll see. And then you got downstairs. And this I've been kind of having a little bit of fun with. Just messing around. I put some, these gross mycelium walls down here. And a crypt. And then this giant iron door. That opens up into this dank... disgusting kind of area where the what's his name, the collector's gonna be. And I'll put his bedroom and his bathroom over here somewhere. This was kind of fun to do. I didn't record this though, so I don't know. Who cares? Not too many people watch these. I really don't know. I'm just kind of having fun and messing around. So let's go take a look really quick at the outside. I have been messing around with putting some straw, I don't know, roof pieces over this, like the entryway maybe. I don't know if that's going to stay. It may or may not stay. Who knows? We do have to cover up most of this stuff. I'd like to bring this mountain out a little bit and cover up all these roofs at the very minimum, and only have these windows poking through. Which kind of... I'm just now thinking, like, why even have the roofs? I could just make them flat like this, I guess. I didn't think of that. I don't know. I think I was just having fun with the design of this place, so. We're gonna end up covering all this up with grass here pretty soon. But let's go talk about how we're gonna do this bar area. We can pick some of this stuff up. Hopefully I remember how to do it. Yeah, so let's go... We're going to flip this around so it's not facing us, right? And I think we're going to turn on snapping. No, that doesn't work. I think what I did is I blew a hole... Yeah. And I built another floor down here. That's exactly what I did. So I blew open this whole area where I wanted the bar. I put down another floor a little bit, I think 2 blocks down. And 1, 2, yeah, it's 2 blocks down. And then I built another floor, or is that the ceiling for the collector? Whatever it is, there's 2 blocks down. And then we're gonna use that to snap. Right? Okay, so we're going to take the banquet table, we're going to turn it to 90 degrees, and we're just going to kind of place it up against this, kind kind of like this, up against this bookshelf here. Just so we have something solid to aim at. And then we're going to grab this carved wooden shelf. And we're going to use the banquet table to place the carved wooden shelf. And I'm going to enter first person so I can see this. And then that way you can kind of decide where the carved wooden shelf is in space. Kind of like that. And then I'll use the mouse to place this. And then you can pick up this banquet table, and you're done. You've got a bar. Not too bad. You fill this stuff, patch this up with some more of this junk, and it's like it never happened. And I'm gonna keep messing with this, and I'll get it just right. And for the let's go into the backpack. For the bar stools, we're gonna use these dagger weapons racks. And these round food plates. And this one I use snapping for. And you just kind of like adjust the up and down movement until it's just about right. Just make sure I got it good. I think that is it. Yeah. So we're at -3E, the first -3, because there are 2 -3s. So, and we'll just kind of place these wherever. You can do the same thing with the round food plate and just kind of put that right on top. And there you go. You got a bar stool. Not too bad. I think it looks okay. As far as these kegs go, you got to delete enough space for an opening to put them down. And I think we'll do quite a few of these. We'll grab this sconce here, if I can. Go to the other side. And this, I haven't really done yet. This is just an idea. I haven't fleshed it out yet, so it might not work. But we're going to use some of these half barrels and some of these whole barrels. Just because the whole barrels have a spigot on them, or a spout, whatever you want to call it. This little thing, little handle. And we're using these vat number 3 because they sit on the ground, so they have a flat bottom. And that's going to make sense in a minute. So I think we'll put these... Oh, why is it so high? Okay, so let's bring this down to 0 and then go back to this thing. I think that things are affected by the up and down, whatever, the move up and down. So you can move this all the way up and down, even if the item isn't supposed to work that way. Like you can't adjust this one's up and down, this the Z axis on this. Or I guess that would be the X axis, whatever. However you want to think about it. You can't adjust that while you're holding it, but if you go to an item that you can adjust it with, you can like you could put it into the floor, right? And then just switch to that one and it's in the floor. That's pretty cool. I'm just finding that out now. All right, so we'll put this flat at 0, and I think we're gonna put it back a little bit. Kind of like that. Makes a little bit of sense. And I don't know if we're gonna, maybe we'll do this whole wall will be, although I kind of want to do like a wine rack kind of thing. Is there enough space here? We can do it in this wall maybe. Put some bottles here maybe? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Right now we'll just do 2 of these. We're gonna switch to this vat 3, right? We're gonna turn snapping off, and we're gonna rotate it 90 degrees. And we're gonna change the up and down position so that it kind of looks like this, maybe? Yeah, I don't want the tap to be fully covered, but I want to cover all of this barrel. And then I want to come out a little bit more. Right? Does that make sense? And then we'll kind of rough this in. I might have to come back and change this to make it perfectly perfect. But we'll just kind of rough these in. Kind of like this. That's not too bad. So we got some regular sized bookcases here. Carved wooden cabinets, whatever. And we're going to put these... We're going to shove these down so that you can't see the tops or bottoms. And then we're going to carefully place them. Hang on. Hold it. Can I not? I think I need to put some sort of thing in here. Where is it? Yeah, so we'll put like a little shelf in here so I have something to aim at. Instead of it just... There you go. Alright, and then we're going to use the... I'm going to use my mouse here so that it's just barely... It's just barely clipping out the big keg. And we'll just put these... We'll just put these down like that. So that they're nice and even. Like that. That doesn't look too bad. What do you think? And then you can put some, like, some mugs down. Maybe I'll even put these closer. Do you think I could put them closer? Let's try this whole thing again. Let's grab that. Let's grab this thing. And that will leave a little bit of room over here to put some, like, bottles. I had an idea for, like, a cubby with some bottles. And maybe I'll figure that out next. Yeah, that's not so bad, dude. Okay, all the sconces are done. This bar is done. We got all these barrels in place. I think it looks okay. Yeah, I think it looks alright. And then I went ahead and did some of the kitchen. I just put some of this stuff down. Some of this junk. All the sconces, all these whatever, these pieces are in the wall sconce area. I think it's good. Ovens are in. I extended this wall a little bit. Just pulled it out by 1. So that's cool. I'd say we're pretty much ready for decorating. And I don't know how much of that you want to see. I'll probably pull you back every once in a while to show you some stuff, but yeah. I think what we'll do now is we'll go outside and start working on this. I did bring a chimney up a little bit. It looks okay. I don't know. We'll see about that. I don't think I'm going to keep these roofs on. I've been thinking about it a little bit. What was that noise? I think I will destroy these roofs. I'll probably have to do it one piece at a time. That kind of blows a little bit. But I think we'll get rid of all of this. And we'll just do like a flat roof. Okay, that's not so bad. Maybe we'll do... Maybe we could do something like this. I've been messing with this a little bit. Maybe like that would look nice. I've been messing with this a little bit down at the entry. We'll just delete some of this. Okay, come on, baby. Yeah, maybe we'll do that on all 3 of those. Come down here and work on this a little bit. I think I find it easier to just kind of put this. Let's see, kind of like that. And then we'll just delete the top part. What does that look like? That's a bit much, huh? Maybe not. Maybe we'll keep this up higher a little bit. Let's see. I don't even know if that's going to translate. Once I get rid of the top part, it might be a problem. This one might have to come out. And they'll have to move that light too, because that looks like poo-poo. Let's do some terrain stuff. I like to use this kind of natural looking one for the stone. That's what I did for all these other ones. And it looks okay. So I think we're going to kind of shove this into places. Kind of like that. And we'll just kind of get this to work in. And we can rotate it every once in a while. And we kind of want it to look a little bit natural. So we'll shove that into there. Kind of like that. And we can go through with the block here and delete some of the stuff that we don't like. That's okay. Something like that. We can just keep working it this way. Pull it out a little bit. Make it look a little bit more natural. And then we want it to kind of come up this way and block off part of this window. I was going to do like a big outside deck kind of area, but this place is way too big. It already looks goofy. It doesn't really match the vibe. So we're going to try to just conceal as much of it as possible, I think. And maybe I'll even cut away some of this rock face here. And this is going to leave some stuff on the inside that we're going to have to come back and destroy. But that's all part of it. Takes a long time. This is going to be one of these very long builds, so we'll come back and do some of that. I'm going to do all this rock business and kind of make it look a little bit natural, just running back into the background there and taking a look, and every once in a while just making sure it looks all right, you know? Another thing we're going to do is we're going to be using this flat sheet, and we're just going to put down some Springlands dirt. Not enough free space. All right, come on. Kind of like that. And we're going to get it to kind of slope forward into this area. And then I kind of want it to hang over just a little bit so you can see some of the dirt and not too much of the roof there. So maybe what we'll end up doing is using a single block of terrain and the fertile Springlands dirt. And we'll just kind of shove this into here. You know, I'm not a huge fan of that. Maybe we won't do that. Maybe it'll look good up here. No, it doesn't. I'll figure that out. That's going to take a little bit of figuring out. That's fine. For now, let's just go through and do all of this, this junk. Kind of bring it down a little bit. Make sure it kind of meets up with this part here. Like that. And then we can come up here and we can cover all this junk. Something like that. And then we'll pull this, maybe we'll pull this out a little bit. Maybe start here. Something like that. Not too bad. And we'll keep bringing this forward to cover all this. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't totally hate that. It's going to be really flat, which is fine. We can go ahead and we can just add some like some bumps and some other stuff here and get something like this in there. Kind of bring it down. Just feather it in a little bit to make it look a little bit more lumpy and natural. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I don't need this rock. We can get rid of this rock. So I'm just gonna mess around with this a little bit. And doing some stuff like that. You're gonna see if you go into settings, we'll change the foliage to off, and you'll see that it looks really lumpy like this. And what you can do, let's go down here to this where it's kind of tiered. What I like to do is go to the single terrain piece and just try to like mesh it in a little bit. And it will, I mean, it kind of works, but, you know, it's not going to be perfect. And I think the only way to make it perfect is with the hoe, and I really suck at the hoe. I'm not good at it at all, so... Maybe I'll try to get better at that. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next several hours. I will see you in a little bit. Okay, so I've gone ahead and finished... pretty much all of the terrain, and it doesn't look terrible. I don't completely hate it. Got these these holes in the rock face here for the windows. I think that's all right. And all of this over here. It's not terrible. I did go ahead and I kind of like made this a little bit rough. This top space here. And some of this is kind of like ridiculous looking, but I'm going to fill a lot of this in with plants and trees, some shrubs and trees and stuff. I went ahead and made some of those here. But before we get to that, I wanted to show you how I'm kind of doing this transition here from this top layer of grass and dirt to the very lip. So what I'm doing is I'm using the terrain block with Springland's dirt, and I came right to the edge with this square piece of dirt, like kind of half submerged here into the roof. And I came right to the edge, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna come along this corner that I left empty. I didn't put any material in here. We're gonna go all the way across like that, and then we're gonna make it kind of meet up, and it's gonna be kind of fat, which is okay. And we'll go all the way across like this. And then I'm gonna switch to the fertile Springlands dirt, and we're just gonna bring a single lip of this all the way across. And that should kind of feather it out a little bit. Just enough. And the Springlands dirt, the fertile Springlands dirt is like full of growth. It's like full of flowers. Here, let's take a look here really quick. We'll just do the regular dirt all the way across. All the way across like that. Meet it up there. And then we'll bring this across like that. And we'll just compare and contrast the two. Just get all that hidden. Real nice. Hide all of our shame there. And then we'll go turn the quality up of the foliage. And there you can see it I think it looks a lot better this way. Some like dirt, some grass hanging down and all that. And this actually looks quite nice. Put some shrubs in here and it's gonna look a treat. I think so. So that's I'll finish doing that off camera. let's go and take a look at some of the other stuff. I've just been messing around. I like to hop from one thing to another, so it's kind of difficult to record everything, but let's go ahead and take a look inside at some of the stuff I've been up to. So we finished this. I might have already shown this, but we finished the bar area. We just got to put some knickknacks and some stuff in there. I think I already showed you this, the fireplaces, the ovens and all that. But I've been working on, like, the bathrooms are all pretty much done. There's a potty and a sink. And I shoved one of these barrels in there just to have the spigot hanging out. And I cover that up with a one of these carved wooden things, just like we did over here, because the barrel kind of pokes through the texture of the wall a little bit. So I just kind of shove this into the wall, kind of like that. And I'll just shove that in there to make it look a little bit nicer. So the bathrooms are done. I hung some chandeliers in here. Still got to delete all this dirt. I'll do that off camera. I have figured out what to do with this back room. I turned it into another fully functional kind of room here, which gives me an extra place to stick a villager. And then we got the shared bathrooms are all done. We got a couple sinks here. And then you got kind of it's a little bit cramped, but I figure it's all shared stuff, so it should be a little bit cramped. You got a bathtub with a shower. I think that looks pretty cool. And you just got that copy and pasted 3 times. So that worked out pretty well, I think. We just got to decorate, really. Put some bookcases and some shelving and stuff in here. And some art on the wall. I did the same thing upstairs for these 3 special rooms. Because they have their own bathrooms. And so I just kind of put these down here. I shoved, this is something I forgot to do here. So I shoved one of these in there. We're going to pop it out a little bit so it covers up the barrel texture. Just put that right there. That's not too bad. I don't hate it. Let's see the other ones. Yeah, not too bad. I also put down some of these carved wooden shelves. And I just kind of rotated them to probably 135 degrees. And I shoved those in between these steps here. I'll show you. It's kind of like this step kind of thing going on. So we'll shove that in there, kind of like that. Just to hide our shame. Let's take a look at the last one. This is going to need more lights, I think. Maybe I'll hang some lights from the ceiling. I'm not too sure. We'll figure that out during the decoration phase. Yeah, but I think we're pretty much done. I'm just going to put down some shrubs. Let's do that together. I wonder, I don't really know how they work. I made some trees also. Alright, let's try to mess around with some of these shrubs. We got a berry bush and a shrub here. Let's bring these up to 0. And I guess we can just kind of toss these in here. Is this going to be the shrub here? It's pretty big. Maybe we'll do a test right there. Maybe one there. Maybe one there. And then we'll do berries. Put a berry there. Maybe one there. We'll just kind of toss these around in a bunch of random places. And then I want to see about trees, maybe. I wonder, there probably wouldn't be too many trees. Maybe one off here to the side. But I doubt there would be a tree growing on top of this thing, right? That seems kind of crazy. But maybe there would be one like over here. That could be kind of fun. And then another one down here, maybe. And then we could do some shrubs in here, maybe. And I might run around and put some of these, like, up here on top of my house. I think maybe. Maybe we'll see what they look like when they're fully grown, but... And I'll go see if we have to water those too. But other than that, I'm just gonna get to work on, you know, digging out all the junk from the inside of the house and starting to decorate a little bit. I think if I have any cool ideas, I'll bring it back. And we're back. Okay, so I got all these trees planted. The whole interior is decorated. We'll do a walkthrough here in a minute. But the trees, I had to replant some of these a few times because the branches and the leaves were kind of creeping into the house, or the inn there, the tavern. So I've just been moving these around, messing around with them a little bit with their placement. And I placed a bunch more. In some cases, when doing like these shrubs and these bushes, in some cases you'll see that the roots kind of go through. I don't think they do in our house at all, really. But the roots will come through the ceiling. Oh, there's one right there. And I don't mind it, dude. I think it looks kind of cool. Pretty realistic. In a sense, I suppose. But anyway, I've been messing around with that a little bit. It's taken me quite a long time to decorate the whole thing because I keep running out of stuff. But let's go ahead and do a quick walkthrough. I think what I will do... Let's go ahead and ramp all these all the way up. Yeah. I think what I will do is we'll do a quick walkthrough of this tavern. And then because I've also been decorating all the other places, all the other houses, I'll do a full walkthrough. In the next episode will just be a full walkthrough of the whole village, I think. So, this is already going to be a long video, but we'll just do a quick one. Alright, so you walk into the tavern. Outside of the tavern came out really nice. I like it a lot. I think it looks pretty sick. I tried to put as much, like vines and stuff on the windows. You can see some up there, on the top there. On the outside, just to kind of blend it in with the side of the cliff, but you know, I'm digging the way that the outside of this came out. The inside of the tavern, I have placed down a bunch of these ding-dongs. Maybe I will turn off the HUD so we can't hear from them. I got this place decorated pretty good. Pictures and shields and all kinds of junk. Got a nice little bar here. Some tables, chairs, all that junk. The bar area is fully stocked. We got a bunch of cups and stuff here. Got some drinks in the back. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, see, like here's a little bit of a thing peeking through the roof there. I don't hate it. It's not too bad. Get your 2 bathrooms here. Fully decked out. Ready to go. Nice faucet. Let's see the other one. Yeah. Not too bad. Back of the kitchen. I guess we could turn these on so that they look better. Maybe I'll do that in the walkthrough. I'll turn these on. I did put a little bit of flatbread in there. Just for, so you could see it. You got a nice little sink here. Where are you going? Dude, the disrespect on these people, man, I tell you. Yeah, you got a bunch of food ready to go out. Some plates and stuff. Cookbooks, a little bit of food. Cooking utensils. And then you got the downstairs, which is all going to be like your dried goods and vegetables and stuff. Couple of sinks for washing up. Dirty rack, clean rack. All that stuff. This was a lot of fun putting this together. Yeah. Anyways, that's the downstairs. I don't know why you're coming downstairs, buddy. You're not allowed back here. Let's go move on to the lounge area. This is more like fine dining, I suppose. Yeah, there's a huge banquet table and a couple of seats for couples, I guess. There's a little reading area for whoever's living here. Can come and relax out here if they want, I suppose. Little library on the way to your room. And then you got all the rooms are pretty done. They're pretty decorated. They're pretty full, actually. But I guess these people live here full time, so that's okay. Yeah. Not bad. These are all pretty... They're pretty much the same. There's not much difference in any of these rooms. But I'll show you all of them just for funsies. Because I did decorate all of them, and it took me a long time. And then you get this long room here. That's just kind of ridiculously long, but whatever. And then the shared bathrooms here. Community bathrooms. A couple of sinks. Faucets. A couple of areas to like wait your turn. You come in here and shower, bathe, you know, poop, all that stuff. And these are all exactly the same. And then you got all your, there's like extra supplies and stuff. I figure these are like shampoo and soap or whatever. Whatever you want them to be. Buster Brown. Alright. Close this up. And then we got the downstairs area. And this is kind of gross down here. This is where that goofball lives. There you go. Lots of hooks and chains hanging from the ceiling. This dude's a weirdo. Nothing against it, you know? He is who he is. It's fine. These are the things I was telling you. They're gigantic. These plaques here. Whatever they are. They're huge. I don't really know what to do with them. Maybe in like a castle situation they would be okay, but they're too big. All your decorations here are done. The bathroom over here. Nice little potty so you can catch your hair on fire while you're pooping. Yep. Oh yeah, and I did turn one of those plaques around backwards, so it would be kind of like a mirror situation, I guess. I don't know. Seemed like a good idea. And then this guy's bedroom over here. Nice and decorated. He sleeps in this coffin. I actually buried his bed is underneath the floor, but I'm making pretend that he sleeps in the coffin. Alright, let's go upstairs. So all these goofballs that are just kind of like strewn about live in these back rooms here. And then all the people that I care about, I don't really want them moving. Because I want to be able to find them. They all live in these top 3 houses. Or these top 3 rooms. This is the trader. Lunar New Year trader. She lives here. In this first room. This is her bathroom. It's not too bad. Fully decorated. I ended up going, I think, way too crazy with the pictures here. I think if you just barely look at it, it looks okay. But if you spend too much time, like, it looks a bit cluttered, I think. I don't know. Just my opinion. This is the bard. She lives here. She's got a nice little room. I put this little backpack here full of, I don't know. I think that's the farmer's almanac or something, but I think it looks cool here. It looks like she travels with a bunch of sheet music or something, maybe. There's her bathroom. Little inset bookcase. That's pretty cool. And then I think the last room is the barber. And it would have been nice to have more of like these head molds here with the wigs on them. I would have liked to put those down. And then maybe like a mirror kind of thing. That would have been cool, but I don't know. There you go. That's the whole tavern and inn. It took so long to get to this point, but I think it came out good. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, the next video is going to be a full tour of the whole village, the whole Hobbit village. Yeah, so look forward to that, and then we're going to go back to adventuring on Monday. So let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed. There's going to be a whole lot of this stuff going on. Got a lot more building going on. If you're only interested in the building, subscribe anyway. Hit the bell notification, and you'll see some more build videos coming up soon. I think I'm going to keep one of these going in the background. You know, I just always have a build video ready to post every couple of weeks, maybe every week, maybe every couple of weeks. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Anyways, I had a great time. Hope you did too. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.